Hi, my name is River Chow. This video is an advanced study in understanding the arrangement of the Fuxi 8 trigrams. If you are a beginner in the Book of Changes, you might find it a bit challenging as it involves a number of diagrams. I will try to present it as simply as possible. The yellow river map hosts 10 numbers. Fuxi's 8 trigram is made up of 8 symbols. How can Fuxi integrate these 10 numbers from the yellow river map into the 8 trigrams? Fuxi lay on the grass, contemplating the high sky. He noticed that we are surrounded by 8 natural phenomena derived from 10 numbers. The 8 symbols are the outside appearance, while the 10 numbers are the inner roots of nature. Fuxi knew too well the principle of yin and yang, so he split the circle into 2 pieces. The left halves belong to the realm of yang, while the right halves belong to the realm of yin. He is so brilliant that he even knows our planet is constituted by latitude and longitude. Latitude is considered as yang, while longitude is considered yin. By dragging the latitude to the left half of the circle, an innate number of 9, 4, 3, 8 was thus converted to the outward appearance of heaven, lake, fire, and thunder. On the other hand, by dragging the longitude to the right half of the circle, an innate number 2, 7, 6, 1 is thus converted to the outward appearance of wind, water, mountain, and earth. These symbols are later named as heaven, joy, leave, quake, sun, pit, gen, earth in the Book of Change. Memorizing the order of the sequence is highly recommended for further study. From my own experience, singing like a song might help. Up until now, you've got a better picture of how Fuxi's 8 trigrams work out with the yellow river map. And you are aware that each trigram is associated with its own innate number. Let's pin these innate numbers to the Tai Chi family tree for later use. Back to Fuxi's circular model of our universe. The order of sequence is heaven, joy, leave, quake, sun, pit, gen, earth. By pinning the numbers according to these sequences, a latent Tai Chi diagram appears. Tai Chi diagram is the most seen diagram in the Book of Change. Its dynamic movement is clockwise, which makes yang begin at quake and reach its utmost at heaven, while yin begins at sun and reaches its utmost at earth. The Tai Chi diagram applies to everything in our world. Summer to winter. Flower blossom to falling leaves. Dawn after dark. Rainbow after rain. Opportunity after threat. Things are going the natural way. This is what our holy saga, Lao Tze, defines as Tao, the law of nature. The Book of Change led us to Taoism, to understand the philosophy behind our nature. Did you notice that the Tai Chi diagram has 2 tipping points? Lao Tze wrote, "Fortune nests on misfortune. Misfortune lurks on fortune." When you are in the very worst of moments, you cannot even bear 1 minute. There is always a tipping point waiting for you. Or else, when you are in a very joyful moment, be aware. Evil Queen is just around the corner. This is so-called the logic of Tao, which guides you through your life. That is why we say the Book of Change embodied numbers, symbol, and logic. Many people misunderstand that the Book of Change is a book of divination. In fact, it is far more than that. This is a book that, once you get in touch with it, you want to keep digging into. Life is the process of numbers and developing symbols. And we are heading to the unknown of fate number. You might notice that Tai Chi swirl clockwise. But the path of symbols in the realm of yang move anticlockwise. The Book of Changes says I is a matter of anticlockwise. I, the Chinese name of the Book of Change. Its pictogram feature of the sun and the moon. I know the Book of Changes is no easy book because it has gone through many of the centuries, interpreted by thousands of scholars with different backgrounds in different dynasties ruled by different emperors. It turned out to have too many interpretations. But diagram bypass them all. Picture worth 1,000 words. So, let's go back to the diagram. Tai Chi is the origin of everything. Tai Chi forms two modes. Two modes form four variants. Four variants form 8 trigrams. Shaoyong, a great Chinese cosmologist, numerologist, and philosopher in the Song dynasty, used his mathematical method to further elaborate on the strong bond between the Yellow River map and the Fuxi 8 trigram. How did he prove it? First, he realized the body structure of the Yellow River map is constituted by horizontal and vertical lines. It also known as latitudes and longitudes in the Book of Changes. Latitudes are categorized as yang, while longitudes are categorized as ing. He also realized that the four variants generate 8 trigrams. These four variants are Great Yang, Less Yin, Less Yang and Great Yin. Great Yang is 1, and Less Yin is 2, located at the latitude of the Yellow River map. Less Yang is 3 and Great Yin is 4, located in the longitude of the Yellow River map. Shaoyong thus pins these four numbers into the Tai Chi family tree. After all, there are a bunch of numbers on the family tree. Shaoyong uses only 2 numbers to justify his argument that the Fuxi 8 trigrams hold a strong bond with the Yellow River map. Which 2 numbers? Can you guess? It's 5 and 10. Still remember that 5 and 10 are located in the center of the Yellow River map, representing heaven and earth? Here is his demonstration. 10 minus 9 equals 1. 5 minus 4 equals 1. 1 is the Great Yang. It tells us that heaven and joy come from the same source, the Great Yang. 10 minus 8 equals 2. 5 minus 3 equals 2. 2 is the Less Yin. It tells us that Leaf and Quake come from the same source, the Less Yin. 10 minus 7 equals 3. 5 minus 2 equals 3. 3 is the Less Yang. It tells us that Zone and Pit come from the same source, the Less Yang. 10 minus 6 equals 4. 5 minus 1 equals 4. 4 is the Great Yin. It tells us that Gen and Earth come from the same source, the Great Yin. These demonstrations somehow reveals that number 5 and 10 mean a great deal to the process. The Yellow River map hosts 10 numbers. 10 represents a concept of wholeness in which our nature is subsumed into unity. Completeness, totality, perfection, and wholeness are a bunch of words that describe number 10 in the Chinese tradition. Fuxi's 8 trigrams do demonstrate the concept of wholeness by number. Heaven plus earth equals 10. Joy plus Gen equals 10. Leave plus Pit equals 10. Quake plus Sun equals 10. Symbol-wise, it also embodied the concept of wholeness in one way or another. They are all placed in the opposite direction. What does it imply? Take heaven versus earth as an example. Heaven is pure yang, while earth is pure yin. It looks like they are against each other, but in fact, they complement each other. Heaven signifies man. Earth signifies woman. One cannot exist without other. The concept of wholeness is consistent with the Taoism of oneness and the principle of yin and yang. Without heaven, there will be no earth. Without mountain, there will be no lake. Without thunder, there will be no wind. Sun live in sun way, moon live in moon way. I believe Fuxi's symbol deliver an insightful thought on the concept of wholeness. Whoever learns the Book of Change will not miss this connotative passage. Heaven earth locate position. Mountain lake connecting. Thunder wind diminish one another. Water lives in a waterway, fire lives in a fireway. 8 trigrams mutually against one another. Number goes clockwise. Truth comes anticlockwise. Thus, reverse number. Heaven-earth locate position gives a clear notion that we human beings live between heaven and earth. The Book of Change very much concerns the idea of positioning. If we learn to read a hexagram, Yang in the first, third, fifth yao and Yin in the second, fourth, sixth yao are considered to be in the right position. In this sense, hexagram number 63 has all yao in the right position. Mountain lake connecting. Fuxi's 8 trigrams can apply to every single thing in our world. The symbol of the mountain signifying nose, while the symbol of the lake signified mouth. Physically, our airways connect the nose and mouth. Thunder and wind diminish one another. This is quite a straightforward statement. However, I have some very personal thoughts. I have noticed that wherever an earthquake is taking place, the wind speed is usually gentle. Water lives in a waterway, fire lives in a fireway. In the Book of Change, water also represents the moon. Fire also represented the sun. 8 trigrams mutually against one another. Such interaction manifests the whole nature. Number goes clockwise. Truth comes anticlockwise. Thus, reverse number. Sounds complicated? Sometimes, I think that I might be overthinking. It would be just a very simple message, telling us that our planet itself revolves anticlockwise, with the sun and moon around us. I hope this video gives you a better understanding of Fuxi's 8 trigrams, especially its sophisticated arrangement. Now, it's time for our 1-minute writing session. Today we learn number 10. Take a look at the yellow river map layout. It's exactly what 10 is.